We're going to start episode 4, just a little bit back into episode 3, where Vance and Dave felt uneasy in this atmosphere. And whenever the Teamsters went out with their teams to keep the hauling roads open, they went along to get away from the grumbling and confines of the cabin, or the camp. During the night of the 15th of January, it snowed so heavy that when Vance and Dave left the bunkhouse to go for breakfast in the mess hall, the snow came up to well above their knees. It was soft and powdery. All around the clearing of the campsite, the tall evergreens bowed under the piled up snow on their boughs. It was like the winter wonderland they had seen on Christmas cards, but here it was not wanted. For the more it snowed, the more time and money everyone lost, and they all would have to work the harder to make up once the weather cleared up. But this morning they stopped and looked around them at the beauty instead of worrying about what more snow meant for their salaries in the spring. Pardon me. Then they heard their names called, sounding like a whisper in the muteness of the snow. Vance, Dave. They both turned in the direction of the cookhouse. In the doorway stood the camp boss. He waved at them to come over to him. Pushing their way through the snow, they changed their course from going to the mess hall and headed for the cookhouse. As they came up to the door, the camp boss stepped back into the interior of the cookhouse while saying, "Boys, I want you to go along with Kent this morning. I want him to open the road to the yard. You boys get some breakfast here and then meet him at the stables. Take shovels, you will need them. For when the horses get tired, you will have to shovel the road ahead of them a ways. And then you will have to shovel some of the pulp pile and measure the depth of the snow there. Bring the information back to me. We will make our plans according to your findings. I'll tell Kent what I want him to do." With that, he left the cookhouse and pushed his way through the snow towards the stables. The cook had breakfast of bacon and eggs along with thick slices of bread and butter waiting for them, and they did justice to his efforts by wolfing it down along with cups of hot coffee. When finished, they went to the stable where they found Kent and his team of greys ready to move out. They got their shovels and jumped into the box of the sled. The team were eager to be working, and Kent had to hold them in with tight reins. They were soon on the road that led to their cutting site and the road to the yard where that angled off to the right. The horses were big and strong, and pulling the empty sled through the deep snow was not difficult for them. Even the fact that most of the time they were up to their chests in the snow. The team seemed to be happy to be doing something, even if it was breaking roads. It was almost as if they understood what was required of them, and they plunged right ahead without any hesitation. When they arrived at the road leading to the yard, they turned onto it with care. Kent did not want the eager team to get off of the hard surface of the road under the soft snow, for on either side of the hard packed surface was the much deeper snow that would surely trap even his strong and willing team. Kent knew the road well, and so did his team. They were halfway to the pulp yard by the river, thinking they were the only team on the road when they rounded a bend and came face to face with the phantom logger and his black stallions. Kent yelled at his team while jerking hard on the reins. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Vance and Dave grabbed the sideboards off the sled to keep from falling out of the box. But despite their surprise, they did not miss the reason for the sudden stop. The black stallions came rushing on with snow flying behind them, almost shutting out the view of the sled and their driver. Then they were upon Kenta's team, but instead of crashing into Kenta's graze, the blacks plunged off the road into the collar-deep snow, and with several jumps they were past and back on the road. Their driver stood up in the box of his sled and guided his ghost stallions as he had done before. They and he had become the story of the phantom logger and his team in the New Brunswick logging camps. The end, my friend. No more cliffhanging. But if you saw me do a bit of a whine there, it's because my finger came stuck. It was really sore. I thought I wasn't going to make it, and I did mispronounce or sort of mumble over some words, and I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been fun. I wrote those so many years ago and never thought to publish them or anything. But anyway, oh no.